So let's run with that train of thought that we were getting comments on about how, religion is just it is flimsy. It's not to be trusted. It's just hearsay. It's to manipulate you by the government. It was all put together at the Council of Nicaea. All the
to placate you, to listen.
Anybody who's read the Da Vinci Code knows.
Oh my gosh.
But I kid. So if we have science without religion, we have unanswered questions. Sure, we can tell you how hot the sun's burning. We can tell you the power of gravity. We can tell you the speed of light. These kind of things. But when it comes down to, should we take care of people that are infertile? That's a moral question, because if you just have science, and I've heard it said, like I've had friends, I've had these conversations who think the purpose of life is to procreate, is to make more life. Well, then what do you do when you have infertile people?
They can't even fulfill that purpose.
They can't fulfill the purpose of life. What you deem as the purpose of life.
Yeah.
So then we just have this slippery slope of subjective morality. And that's a world no one wants to live in, because we all have morals. We have some of the morals, or at least they're mostly agreed upon, which I don't think a lot of people understand just how much of Western civilization is based upon Christianity in the first place. When we see a lion taking down a zebra, circle of life, nobody bats an eye.
Food cycle.
It's providing for itself.
Yep. That's how things are.
It's how it is. That's life.
Yeah.
That's just how it was designed to go. It's to keep the ecosystem running.
Yep.
It's right. So that's good. If I take advantage of somebody to put me ahead, not even kill him. I'm not saying kill him. I'm just saying Ponzi scheme. Just taking advantage of people. We all say that's bad. We all say that's not how you're supposed to conduct yourself. But again, we're taking religion out of the picture. Why? That's the question we're stuck with. Because if it's just, what is wrong with me looking out for me, getting ahead at the expense of other people? All that science tells us is that we are a cluster of atoms and molecules that happened here by accident after a big bang. So there's no real purpose if one person goes away. One person doesn't procreate. I'll make up for them. I'll grab their wife and procreate.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? Like, what's wrong with adultery? Like, there is no standard that you can judge against. It's subjective, as I said.
Yeah. And if we were to talk about, like, from a science level, if we were just existing based off pure science alone, without any higher power or deity in mind, just like what you're saying, there's no moral basis for condemning anyone for doing anything wrong, or for getting angry if Hitler kills millions of Jews or people. And if I'm just a random bunch of atoms that happen by accident, that has happened to collide together and form my body and my mind, that means that I'm just a process of chemical reactions that I'm just doing what I was programmed to do.
And I'm gonna tell you, like, we don't live our lives like that. That's the biggest thing. Like, we don't live our lives like that, because if we did live our lives by that, we would have no justice system.
Yeah, we wouldn't be so angry when someone gets unalived.
Because we can't. If it was just your choices and your emotions and your actions are just chemical processes, you're just fated to do that because that process happened. That's the logical outcome. But we don't do that. We hold people accountable for their actions. We have choice. We have free will. Another thing that is beyond the realm of science. You can't prove. A conscious mind, you can't prove. So the fact that we have these kind of things that, no, you can't just do whatever you want. There are consequences. It has to point back. There has to be a standard outside of us. Because even if you make standards, even if you just say, okay, yeah, killing people is wrong. If it just becomes a majority vote, how are we, if it changes, who's to say? Then it's still subjective. It's just, it just moves less. You want to talk about, as a black man, if I was in 1800s, I'm outvoted about how people with my complexion are treated. It does not change the objective truth that I'm still a human.
And you have intrinsic value in worth.
There is intrinsic value.
Mm-hmm.
It does not matter if the majority does not agree. That's what capital T truth is. It's unchanging. Facts can change. It is a fact I'm sitting in this chair right now. That will not be a fact in an hour and a half when we're done here and I'm leaving. That's the difference between like facts and truth. So when we talk about truth, that's what we're trying to get to. And the truth is, there has to be objective. There has to be something a standard outside of us. And that's where religion comes in.